A free Vision model just dropped. Runs on hardware you already own. Reads every invoice, every receipt, every product photo, every screenshot your business processes, and does it for the cost of the electricity to keep the machine on. DeepSeek V4 Flash Vision, 0 download fee, 0 API bill, which is a $2,500 a year hole punched through the budget of every SaaS vendor still charging you per call. DeepSeek just took a $200 a month bill down to $3. Here is the click contract. I found the repo, I read the license, I ran the cost math against 50,000 invoice images a month, which is a real number for a mid-size e-commerce store or an agency doing document processing. The answer is a $2,500 a year saving on one workflow in one shop. I will show you the exact command that surfaces the repo, the exact numbers Claude ran on the Delta, and the exact workflow to build this week before your competitor's agency figures out they can quietly slash your invoice. The headline answer up front. Yes, it works. The cost delta is real, the download is real, and the version I pulled is a Blackwell-quantized build tagged NVFP4, which is a technical way of saying the sweetest install wants a newer NVIDIA card. There is a caveat sitting inside that sentence, and I am going to walk you through it honestly, not sell you a fantasy. Nothing about your invoices leaves your building. Reason enough to switch on its own for anyone who has ever had a compliance team ask what happens to a customer photo in transit. 2 quick things before the demo. Subscribe to the channel. My promise is every free local model drop gets covered here the day it ships. So the next Quen, the next Llama, the next DeepSeek release finds you on day 1 instead of finding you 6 weeks later on someone else's product page. Second, the exact commands I am about to show, the repo link, the pricing math, all of it is pinned in a comment under this video. My free school community, the Church of SEO Jesus, is where the full playbook version of this workflow lives and where I answer when yours breaks. Free. Link is in the description. Right, real proof. I opened PowerShell and hit the Hugging Face public API for a model search on DeepSeek V4 Flash Vision. It returned one repo, WebBrain One, DeepSeek V4 Flash 0731 Vision NVFP4. Its base model chain traces back to the official DeepSeek release plus the Moonvit Vision encoder plus Kimi K 2.6. Real thing, real weights. On the public internet, right now. Then I pulled the model card, first line of the metadata, license, other, not MIT, not Apache. Read the full card before you build a business on top of it, because other is a DeepSeek custom license and the fine print controls commercial reuse. But there is no paywall. You do not enter a card. You do not sign a contract with the sales rep. The tag chain on the same page names Moonvit NVFP4 Blackwell, which tells you exactly who this build was compiled for, without pretending otherwise. Then the cost math. I fed Claude a real workload. 50,000 invoice images processed per month. GPT-4o Vision build per token, roughly 1,100 input tokens per HD image, 150 output tokens at the current price sheet. Current monthly bill, $213. New monthly bill on a local box, $210 every single month, $2,521 every year, on one workflow, in one shop. Now the honest part, for anyone new to this, a quantization is compression for an AI model. Same brain, smaller file, runs on smaller machines. NVFP4 is one particular quantization format that wants a Blackwell-class GPU, which is the RTX 50 series or a current data center card. If you are running a 3-year-old laptop, the fanciest build in that repo will not load. But the base DeepSeek V4 Flash 0731 model lives in other quantization formats on the same Hugging Face account, and a 4-bit build runs on any modern gaming laptop with 16 gigs of video memory. Same model family, wider hardware, and the 4-bit path is what most people should actually pick. Who gets undercut first? Not the big API vendors. They will cut prices and absorb the margin the way they always do. The vendors bleeding today are the OCR SaaS resellers charging you a cent to a dime a page for what is now a free model call. The invoice passing plugins, the document intelligence startups, I count roughly a dozen of them that have raised venture money in the last 18 months on a story that just got a new ending. Everyone is a middleman selling a vision model call at a markup, and the model just walked into the room and sat down for free. One agency I know pays $4,000 a month across 3 different vision products stitched into their client reporting. A single afternoon of consolidation cuts that bill by more than the rent on their office. Open your last OpenAI or Anthropic invoice yourself right now. Look at the line for image input or vision. The number sitting on that line is what this model takes to zero, not me telling you. The workflow to build this week. Pick the single most expensive vision line on your bill, the one costing you the most. Spin up LM Studio if you want a graphical app, or Ollama if you like the terminal. Both free, both a 15-minute install. Pull the DeepSeek V4 Flash checkpoint that matches your GPU. Write one script that takes the exact document your paid tool processes today, sends it to the local model, and writes the answer to the same place. Run the paid tool in parallel for a week, spot check 20 outputs, and if the local model matches, cancel the paid tool. If 2 out of 20 differ, retrain your check script and run another week. Not rocket science, you are comparing text output against text output. Do not let the dev team gold plate it. 1 document, 1 script, 1 week. The window is short. The pattern from 2 years of DeepSeek releases is that the delta between a file going live and someone's competitor quietly replacing their pipeline sits at 4 to 6 weeks. Whole gap, whole competitive edge. If you are the person in your industry who moves on day 3, the compounding is on your side for a year. If you are the person who reads the trade press write-up on day 40, your competitor has already priced the savings into their retail number. DeepSeek V4, Flash Vision, free model, real receipts, real dollar delta. If you want the copy-paste version of everything I just walked through, the PowerShell command that surfaces the repo, the model card link, the pricing math Claude ran, the 20-line workflow script that swaps your paid tool for the local one, it all lives inside the Church of SEO Jesus. That is my free school community. 0 paywall, 0 upsell to a paid tier. The playbook version of every video on this channel drops in there the day the model does, and I am the one answering the thread when your local build refuses to load or your quantization picks wrong. Link is in the description below this video. Join before your competitor does. If this hit for you, my last video broke down the free coding model that made GPT-5 sales calls impossible, and it is playing right there. Watch it next.